Hello, I am Motomataro, and this is my Formations and AI mod. It is available to modders for Mount&Blade, Warband, and with Fire and Sword versions. It is also available as a standalone Warband mod for players. The standalone implementation also includes my rewrite of Party AI. The formations are based on the original simple interface by Mirathe. Since then, I've added a few gameplay features and a rewrite of the battle AI. Even with the development of formations by Tailworlds, modders still include formations and AI in order to use the battle AI. I will be demonstrating specific features with the Brittenwalda mod implementation here.
So such things as the armors and weapons that the troops are carrying, or the additional functions, most of them, on the command menu, do not belong to my mod. Just the features that I'll point out and the formations themselves. You may recognize the AI and the formations from other mods that have employed my mod, such as Prophecy of Pendor.
At the beginning of the battle, the player's divisions are arranged around the player instead of charging ahead. The default arrangement is infantry divisions deploying to the left, increasingly, the cavalry to the right, and let's see, where are those? Oh, there they are, the archers up forward. Not many of them back in 636 AD. This arrangement may be customized by the memorization functions that I've added to the native formation menu. So now I'm going to recreate the setup that you saw at the beginning of the title sequence with the infantry out front. So I'm going to stand by my archers here, and I did a hold F1 to get my infantry to stand in front. I'm moving the skirmishers. Now the heavy infantry automatically stand beside me when I just do a simple hold command. That's because I've set the menu option to set me as leader of that division, Division 5. I'll show the options menu later. And let's put the cavalry way out on our right flank. And now I need to memorize each of these positions. So here is the infantry position. I go to the native formations menu, and you notice F7 and F8 there to memorize or to forget that particular division placement. And now I'm going to do it with all the other divisions, the archers, the skirmishers, or the skirmisher, and the cavalry. So here I've made some memorized placements, but whatever the division arrangement, it is used whenever the player issues a hold or follow command in this and subsequent battles. That's how I got my infantry shield wall to travel in front of me at the start of the title sequence for this video. So here I've set the follow command, and everyone stays in their relative positions, their memorized positions, from me. Now when I do a hold command, they set up relative to the position where I issued the command, but they turn to face the enemy. I have the options set, again in the options menu, so that the formations automatically rotate to face the enemy. Okay, so let's take a look at the heart of the matter. There are 4 types of formations implemented, and the player accesses these from the additional command menu. In the case of the Warband mods, that's accessed with the F4 key. So they were in a shield wall, and now I've set them up by ranks, which sorts them by the level of experience, sort of like a Roman legion. Now I'm going to put them in a wedge. Again, you have the toughest troops up in the front of the wedge because you want the wedge to press through whatever formation it's attacking, so you need your best troops on the point. The wedge dies when it has to stop. Now I'm going to put them in the square formation.
The square formation doesn't have the troops sorted in any particular manner. And there they are. It's a little wider than it is long, as was normal for square formations. But this being 636 AD in Britain, we're going to go back to our shield wall. The shield wall, of course, has the shields out front and then sorts the troops by the length of their weapons. This way, even the back ranks can attack the people in front of us. So now that we've settled our troop dispositions, let's go get the enemy. Yes, that's right. Unlike in native, the AI will take the defensive when it realizes it's outclassed. Some players really resent losing this advantage. So for them, I've included a switch to turn off the AI defensive in the options menu. Well, why don't we skip ahead here? Okay, now that we're here, one very handy feature is that if you place the hold F1 flag close enough to the center of an enemy division, your selected divisions will attack it. So let's get that infantry going. And now we'll get the cavalry around to circle around on the right. Now bear in mind with this function that the enemy center might be nowhere near its troops if they get split up somehow. You often see this after an enemy reinforcement. Now, the Formations and AI mod does not include After Death camera, but it does support mods that do. Brittenwalda here has that feature, so let's go get killed. You'll notice it's much more difficult to sneak up on the enemy. They turn to face me as I approach. That's because the mod actually tracks the nearest enemy agent, refocusing and switching weapons as appropriate. Such functions may be easily tapped by modders for other purposes. And now, with the player out of the way, the AI takes over for the player's troops as well. Troop behavior while in formation has also been modified. To see it best, let's revisit the Swadian shield wall from the title sequence. You may notice several things here. Besides turning to face the nearest enemies in front of them, the troops will select weapons depending on where they are in the formation and whether there's an enemy that has broken in to the formation and is standing closer to them than the nearest friends. You'll also see that the troops with stabbing weapons will not swing them because they're in close quarters. The troops that are in the rear ranks only make attack actions. You'll see in the video here that the Swadian rear is just stabbing away. This is because normally they don't need to take the defense. That's what the front row is doing. Okay, so let me show you the options menu. It's usually located somewhere in the camp menu. Here it is. And here are our options. The very first one here will disable the formations for the player. The AI continues to use formations and continues to function, and some of the other player functions work as well, such as the hold F1 attack key and the memorize relative division position. Here we have the option to allow us to add the player to a certain division. Right now it looks like I've got the player in division 9. This way the division will set up on a hold command or a follow command right by the player. If it's a wedge, for example, the player will be at the head of the wedge. The third option allows you to have your formations and groups of formations rotate to face the enemy center. If you do not set this, then they will keep the rotation that you had when you issued the hold command. Now, if you use the battle sizer mod to increase the battle size above the native maximum of 150, you'll start seeing the battles get choppy. Every second or so, the data collection function kicks in and causes a pause. So to make those large battles run smoother, you can set this option. But of course, without the data, the AI will be a little dumber. And finally, we have the last option here, which prevents the AI from taking the defensive when it is outnumbered. And that is the options for this mod. Well, that's it for the mod's features. I hope that you enjoy playing it or using it if you're a modder. Thanks for watching the video.